In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Hey, what happened here?
20-year-old Caucasian female killed with what our criminal identification officer believes to be a hunting rifle. She also seems to have been pushed down the stairs. There's believed to have been a struggle. The neighbors called in claiming they heard yelling and then a gunshot about 4 a.m. Shortly after we got a call in from the father claiming his daughter had been killed, I made my patrol. We called an ambulance and reinforcements. About an hour later, and a mother showed up stating she was out of town. We checked with her alibi, and she checks out. We've moved the mother, father, and sister into a living room for questioning while we continued our investigation.
All right.
Well, make sure you label that. Can you get a picture of that?
We found a gun over here.
Fingerprints should be taken of it.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm sure this must be extremely hard for you, but I'm going to need you to answer some questions, okay? First off, who was present during the incident? I have here that you, Miss Montgomery, were away on a business trip.
Yes, I was.
And you, Mr. Montgomery, were you out hunting?
Yes, I was.
And do you have an alibi that could confirm that you were out at the time your daughter was murdered?
Nope, I don't.
Okay. And you, Catherine, seem to be the only one who was home. Did you see what happened here?
No, I was sleeping. I didn't see what happened. I didn't see or hear anything until it was too late.
Must be a deep sleeper.
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry, are you saying my daughter has anything to do with this?
Of course not, ma'am. Just trying to look at all the facts. We really just want to find out what happened to your daughter. One last question. Mr. Montgomery, you said you're a hunter, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Did it surprise you to know that your daughter was shot with a hunting rifle? Just like the one you have in your very home?
What are you saying?
Nothing, sir. No further questioning.
I need some air.
A few moments later.
Mr. Montgomery, you're under arrest for the murder of Sarah Montgomery.
What?
You have the right to retain and instruct legal counsel without delay. You have the right to telephone any lawyer that you wish. You also have the right to free legal advice from a legal aid lawyer. If you are charged with an offense, you can contact the legal aid plan for legal assistance. Do you understand? Do you wish to telephone a lawyer now?
No, this can't be happening. I didn't do this. This can't be possible.
Dad, we're gonna get you out, okay? No matter what.
Please get in the car.
Miss Montgomery, you are under arrest for accessory after the fact.
No, this can't be happening. She didn't do anything. She's just a child.
You have the right to retain and instruct legal counsel without delay. You have the right to telephone any
No,
lawyer
sweetheart,
that you
we'll get you
wish.
out. It's okay.
You also have the right to free legal advice from a legal aid lawyer. If you're charged with an offense, you can contact the legal aid plan
Do you understand?
No, I didn't do this, Mom. I didn't do anything.
I believe you, honey. We'll get you out. It's okay.
No.
We'll get you out. You didn't do anything.
Mrs. Montgomery, we're going to need you to come in for some questioning.
Yes, anything to help.
If you could just follow us in your car to the police station, we can escort you unless you'd like a ride. We understand this is a very difficult scenario for you to...
I'll be able to drive, thank you.
Okay.
Many months later.
Order in the court. The Honorable Madam Justice Judy presiding.
You may be seated.
The case of Regina versus Montgomery, my lady.
Thank you. Are all parties present?
Yes, my lady. I am Petra Simmons, and I am acting on behalf of the Crown in this matter.
Yes, my lady. I'm Natalie Dorman, and I am acting on behalf of Catherine Montgomery.
Thank you. Miss Montgomery, please rise to hear your charge.
Catherine Montgomery, you are charged that on October 22nd, 2016, you were responsible for committing the homicide of your sister, Sarah Montgomery. You have been charged with second-degree murder.
Miss Montgomery, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Thank you. Good day, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I will begin this trial with some general comments about our roles in this criminal trial. Throughout, you, the jury, will act as the judges of the facts, and I will act as the judge of the law. As jurors, you must decide whether the accused is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I will give you further instructions about your roles later during the trial. I now call on the Crown to proceed with their case.
My lady, I intend on proving that Catherine Montgomery is responsible for intentionally killing her sister Sarah Montgomery by pushing her down the stairs and shooting her once in the front. To support my case, I will call forward the following witnesses. Miss Mary Jane Finkel, the Montgomery's neighbor, and Paul Montgomery, Catherine and Sarah's father. Mary Jane Finkel, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Miss Finkel, tell us about your relationship with the Montgomerys.
Well, I didn't really know them that well. They always seemed like a nice but distant family. I had them over for dinner when they were new to the neighborhood, but that was years and years ago.
Did you notice anything about the family's dynamic?
They seemed pretty normal to me. The girls were young, but they seemed like good friends. The parents were humble, but I always thought they might have been hiding something. They always seemed uncomfortable around others.
Has the dynamic between the sisters changed?
Well, I don't see them that often, but when I do see them together, they don't seem to ever have a smile on their faces.
Where were you when the incident happened?
I was gardening in my garden.
Did you see anything unusual that day?
I heard the two of them bickering loudly the day before.
And you heard Catherine yell, "I hate you, Sarah! I'm gonna kill you!"
Your Honor, objection. The Crown is leading the witness.
Sustained.
I'm sorry. I'll rephrase the question. Did you hear what the two sisters were bickering about?
I couldn't quite hear what they were arguing about, but I'm certain I heard some threats.
You don't know it was Catherine who threatened Sarah, do you?
I don't know for sure.
So you're guessing, aren't you?
Well,
Did you see the incident happen?
no, but I heard a scream and the shot.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
How does that prove it was Catherine?
I heard her say I shouldn't have done that.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Day 2.
Where were you the time of the incident?
I was out hunting.
What was your daughter's relationship like?
They've always been very close and shared everything with each other.
Why would you think Catherine would do this?
Catherine would never do this. She's always had such a kind heart and has always looked out for her younger sister.
Is Catherine familiar with your hunting equipment?
Well, I taught the girls how to use a rifle when they were younger. For hunting purposes only, of course.
Day 4.
What did you do when you saw Sarah?
Nothing.
What caused her death?
I don't know. I was in the other room sleeping.
She was shot with your father's gun.
And
Your DNA was found under Sarah's fingernails. You pushed her down the stairs and she tried to hold on to you. That's why you had scratches on your arms. You then proceeded to shoot her once she fell down the stairs. No further questions, Your Honor.
3 days later.
Defense, you may proceed with your summation.
Members of the jury, you were told at the beginning of the trial that Catherine Montgomery was charged with second-degree murder and responsible for the homicide of her sister, Sarah Montgomery. Throughout this trial, you have learned that Catherine was located in a different room other than the incident, and that having her personality, she'd never do such a thing to her younger sister. The statements made by Mary Jane Finkel, the Montgomery's neighbor, aren't reliable, and there is no hard evidence that it was Catherine who said those things. Therefore, you must acquit Catherine Montgomery of homicide of Sarah Montgomery.
Crown, you may proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, throughout the trial, you have learned that forensic evidence was found proving the guilt of Catherine Montgomery. Her DNA was found underneath the fingernails of the victim, proving the victim had struggled and tried to hold on to Catherine. Catherine was heard to have said things about her involvement in the incident, according to witness Mary Jane Finkel. Lastly, the rifle used in the incident was one of her father's, Paul Montgomery, took the stand and said so himself that Catherine is comfortable with using this rifle. Therefore, you should convict Catherine Montgomery of the homicide of Sarah Montgomery.
Jurors, to reiterate your role, you have seen the evidence presented by the Crown against Miss Montgomery and the Crown on behalf of Miss Montgomery. You will now proceed to the jurors' room to begin your deliberations.
Jurors, we have heard the evidence provided and all the testimonies.
She must have done it.
I agree. I was watching her giving her testimony, and she kept slipping up her words and making up her story.
Maybe she was just nervous.
Nervous or not, her story never matched up.
I agree, with no consistency in her story, she couldn't have been sleeping. Her alibi doesn't match up. Everyone, let's stay on track.
We also have to consider all facts provided.
Like the fact that the gunshot was fired and she's a deep sleeper? I don't believe it.
And the fact proved that Catherine's fingerprints were on the hunting gun.
Yes, but she could have touched the rifle when handing it to her father before he went hunting.
We must come to a final verdict. Any final thoughts?
The obvious conclusion is that Catherine committed this crime.
I'm not convinced that she's solely guilty. She has no prior conviction and is an outstanding citizen.
Although one of the witnesses did mention the two bickering the night of Sarah's murder.
That is true.
Yeah.
As well, we must keep in mind that Catherine's alibi is that she was sleeping the whole time, which, without valid proof, is difficult to prove any innocence.
That's a valid point.
Now, let's make our decision.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you come to a unanimous verdict?
Yes, Your Honor. We, the jury, find the accused, Catherine Montgomery, to be guilty on all counts of murder of Sarah Montgomery.
Very well. I sentence Catherine Montgomery 25 years in federal prison for the second-degree murder of Sarah Montgomery.